So it's night 2, and an advertisement for Funtime Soda blares through the vents. I mash to see what's moving in, and I try to play a sound to distract the incoming beast. He's right at the entrance. I turn to deter him with my light. Hearing nothing, I frantically recheck my scanner, and bam!
Oh, what a pleasant surprise!
Failure. Sound familiar? Because this scenario happened with everyone from DA Games to Matpat, even Markiplier, the community named King of FNAF. And possibly even you ended up in this situation. But one common thread is that none of these players called this scenario unfair. Why? To find our answer on why no one complains about that moment being unfair, we should analyze this game's systems in its 3 phases, from day 1 to the moment in day 2, and judge off of that. The first phase of each day is the pizzeria phase, in which you buy different items to increase the amount of money you earn at the end of the day, with items that net you more cash having a higher chance of getting you sued or have an animatronic hiding inside. On top of this, you can play mini-games and get sponsors to net you even more cash. Most players on their first day will spend all their money but won't buy anything risky, because they don't quite yet know how the game works. After this comes the defense phase, which is where you spend most of the game. In this phase, you have to keep yourself from getting killed by these friendly faces, while completing work tasks from your computer. To keep the beasts away, you can scan for their movement and play a sound that lures them towards a location. But what you have to note is that you can either scan for the animatronics, or do your work tasks, but not both at once. Finally, you can point your light down either vent to keep an animatronic from entering, but you can't also finish your work tasks while doing so. Only when all your tasks are completed the phase ends. On the first day, since the player probably didn't buy anything too risky, there should be no animatronics in the vents. But they will learn that you can increase the speed of the work tasks for a hefty price, along with the information that sponsors play a 5-second unavoidable ad on your computer. After day 1's seemingly meaningless round comes the final phase of the day, the salvage phase, where you can deliberately allow a murderous animatronic to enter your establishment for payment. That can be used to defend against it. Most people accept the first salvage, if not out of curiosity, then because of the creeping feeling that you know the beasts will find a way in regardless of what you do. On day 2, the player probably gets more risky, knowing they need money to help defend against Mr. Molten Freddy here, even buying a second sponsor. In the next phase, they check Molten Freddy's location, seeing how far away he is from your computer. With their money strategically saved, the player buys every upgrade possible and feels prideful for strategizing how to have work go 3 times as quickly. After testing the new toys, the player checks the beast's location again, and it's nearly here. A small shock to the prideful player. They quickly go to play a sound and try to deter the beast with the light, but an ad for Funtime Soda covers your screen. Immediately resorting to plan B, the player defends with their light, and they can't. They can't move during an ad, something they should have realized day 1, but were too mesmerized with what was going on in the ad. It hits them that they just bought 2 of something they didn't fully analyze, and both Plan A, the sound, and Plan B, the light, have failed, and they have no plan, are guilted for their pride, and have about 2 seconds of advertisement to think of something. This game has caused the player to be confident and prideful to frantic and terrified in less than 30 seconds of gameplay. The player doesn't know what to do. Maybe they try to use the light on the left vent for a few seconds, but in a state of anxiety they may even think the foe might be at the right vent by now, or somewhere else absolutely unknown. The broken player frantically searches for any sign of the enemy and bam! There he is. This doesn't feel unfair, because every action, from not knowing what ads do, not understanding the mechanics, working when you should have scanned, and even letting Molten Freddy there in the first place, was of your own free will. Starting with one mistake that snowballed into a feeling of terror. This wasn't a random jump scare for once, it was your fault. On the next playthrough of the day, the player is much more cautious, and even if they get through day 2, they have to pay for lawsuits, making them take more risks so they don't lose. It creates this cycle of fear till the final showdown on the last day, when you can finally end the consequences of your mistakes. And this is why I think Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator works. And before I go, I just wanted to inform you that I made a second FNAF video where I explain why this game and the original are the most terrifying in the series. If you've already seen that, then consider clicking my logo here to subscribe to my channel to be notified of my analysis of Undertale, Cuphead, and Bendy and the Ink Machine. Regardless of your choice, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all next time.